Yo, yo, yo. Parlay Pimp 666. And what's going on? There we go. Elavina's coming through. It's my American chick right there. Going against Paula. Fuck Paula. Howdy. Got one on here, one on YouTube, one on Facebook. What's up, guys? Looking at our bets right now. Oh, I thought it was for more than that. Oh, well. Goda and Zadar. All right, Parlay Camp 666. Signing on from Bend, Oregon. Had some plans to go all live from YouTube tonight. Don't think that's gonna happen. I think I'm just gonna stick to Facebook. Hopefully, we'll get that launched by Sunday to kick off it. Somebody's hating on my YouTube name. Guess what? I'm good food. I hate these things. Oh shit.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, man. Getting the fungi yawns. I hate when that happens. Can't go take a nap, though. You fucking try to lay down and take a nap right now. You're right. Can't do those anymore. Oh. Why I'm watching that. Oh. Oh. Oh.
here. Head to head.
Ugh.
Game over. You got to give it up. Let's put 5 games and who wins the MVP. Well, why would I do that? Why not? There's a guy who's making the MVP. Well, he wins it every year. Oh, I can't stop that. I just know he's better. No. I know. Let's go forward. Do you want Joel Embiid going forward? Do you want I want the guy that touched on me every other game, bro. Doesn't hurt. He hurts that. But let's get me something do hurt. You remember he missed the playoff game to come in and have OKO thing.
Awesome show. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. See you Monday. That's next.
Here we go on a Friday, live in Los Angeles. It's the Herd, Sweater Day. Wherever you may be, however, you may be listening, iHeartRadio, Fox Sports Radio, and FS1. We're starting with basketball today, even though we only have one football game left. Take a deep breath. This weekend, I may just hang out and chill, eat a lot, nap a lot. It's been a long football season for most of us.
Indeed. We deserve a break. 5 months of grinding away.
Talking about sports is a lot.
So you have to watch a little college hoops this weekend. I get you into college basketball. Another 2-0 night for me on the hardwood last night.
Yeah, just about the time I kind of pivoted.
I get ready for March Madness now.
Yeah. So LeBron had 26 points last night. Lakers came back. They were awful early, great late. And he's going to break Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's scoring record sometime in the next couple of games. Got about 63 points to go, I think it is. So many are suggesting he's not getting enough credit for it. But I will tell you who is paying attention. When LeBron and the Cavs beat the Warriors in the 2016 finals, remember that? Golden State won 73 games, 73-9, first team to ever do that regular season. And then Warriors jumped ahead of the Cavs, 3-1 in the finals, and LeBron roared back, unstoppable. LeBron James became the MVP, had the big block in Game 7. It was one of the great Game 7s in the history of the NBA. I mean, it was just an electric night of NBA basketball. And after LeBron did that, he won in Miami. Now he makes loser Cleveland into a championship team, beating a dynasty. Many suggested, I being one of them, maybe we're looking at the greatest basketball player of all time. In fact, LeBron admitted it, that he thought about it on his production company show.
That one right there made you the greatest player of all time. No, everybody was just how they were the greatest team of all time. Like, it was the greatest team ever assembled. And for us to come back, the way we came back in that fashion, I was like, you did something special.
Yeah.
I'll argue with anybody. Fucking LeBron's overcame more than Michael. Get the fuck out of here.
The same week that Michael Jordan agreed, yeah, why don't you come down and interview me? The notoriously private MJ. Pele, during his lifetime, after his greatness, walked the streets of Brazil. MJ hides. But suddenly he was terribly available to do a 10-part series, sit down for multiple interviews. The minute there was a discussion, we got a new king. The greatest compliment you can give LeBron, even with super confident MJ, he's in his head. I had the producer saying, the next morning I was watching TV, LeBron's at a parade, and I was flying to Charlotte to talk with Jordan. What a zany coincidence. Michael, he's great, but Michael can be petty, punch the teammate, holds grudges, still won't talk to Charles Barkley or Isaiah Thomas. He's 12. His Hall of Fame speech, he called out the high school coach that wouldn't start him and a teammate that beat him out. Oh, so his fun scoring record this week, well, wouldn't you know what another zany coincidence. That ESPN has decided to put together a compilation on February 3rd, 2023, 2/3/2023. It'll be Michael Jordan Day. May just fall just about the time LeBron becomes the all-time scoring king. If you think that's ESPN's idea, you're a fool. I work there. It's not a creative company. They do remote work and journalism and opinion. They're not overly creative. That's not what they do. It's a treadmill. Nike, MJ's people, protect the brand. What a coincidence. The notoriously private MJ.
That's fucking funny.
For a 10-part series. The minute LeBron is in the discussion for the greatest. And now suddenly as LeBron is going to break the all-time scoring record. Michael Jordan Day. Yeah, I'm sure Nike had nothing to do with it. I don't play Nike. It makes their brand. It's their shoe. It's a great shoe. It's the most amazing sports apparel brand in the history of the world. And MJ is great. But Michael's a businessman. LeBron's in his head a little. All right. So here's the new report. There is one team in the NFL, quote, openly going all out for Aaron Rodgers. This morning from Pro Football Network, Tony Pauline, it's Jets. And there are multiple reports now the Packers would prefer to move on from Aaron Rodgers. Now, the way his contract works, it could happen after the draft. But it has been reported by Adam Schefter, trust him, that the Packers would move into the AFC. So there's 3 teams in the AFC that are obvious. We have now the Jets. I've always felt the Titans are big. And the Raiders with Mahomes, Herbert, and Sean Payton, Russell Wilson. You may want to do better than Jarrett Stidham. I got to believe they're going to call. So the interesting thing is I tried to get into Aaron's head. I thought to myself, okay, what would I think if I'm Aaron Rodgers? Now, it's hard to get into Aaron's head. We have nothing in common. I'm married. He's not. I got a bunch of kids. He doesn't. But we're both on the back nine of our careers. How about that? So I thought about the Jets, and I thought to myself, no, there's a reason they haven't made the playoffs for 12 years. He's not going to go from a stable organization to all that wonky nonsense with a bunch of kids and a coach on the hot seat. That doesn't make any sense to me. And though he doesn't have a no trade clause, Aaron's going to tell the Packers, you can trade me there, I'm out. I don't think the Raiders work, although I do like their offensive weapons. Aaron could go to the Raiders, have a very good year, and still finish in 3rd or 4th place. Again, like the Jets, just too wonky of an organization. Now, the Titans does feel like it's something. Aaron hasn't had a lot of great defenses. Titans have a great defense. They also have a great coach in Mike Vrabel, and Nashville's a super cool city. And when you're young and single and don't have kids, living in a cool place after living in Green Bay, it's probably attractive. I mean, he does have a house out in LA. But the one thing I come back to with Tennessee is they always feel weapons deprived. They always feel like a receiver or a tight end shy, and their offensive line is bad. So I got to tell you, the one, I'm thinking to myself, I'm Aaron. I'm single. I don't have kids. Miami. Oh, get over the Tua thing. That's an eye roll. How many times have they told us they love Tua, and an hour later there's a Deshaun Watson story, there's a Tom Brady story. If you trust Miami, that is a you problem. They have a great left tackle, unbelievable weapons, no state tax, warm weather, city for a single guy. They have unbelievable speed at wide receiver, capable running backs. I don't know. Miami kind of feels like what I would do. Single, no kids, 3-4 more years, super brilliant offensive coach from the 49ers system. Aaron's gotten beat by that 49ers system multiple times. He just got beat by, Garoppolo not long ago. An inferior quarterback to him. He's thinking, God, if I had that system, you can get it in Miami. I got the left tackle. David Bakhtiari is his best friend on the Packers, so he loves his left tackles, right? You got one. Super fast veteran wide receiver, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Mike Gesicki's a better than average tight end, good running backs. No state tax, lot to do, fun city. I know y'all love Tua. He's the nicest kid in the world. But everybody loves him. It's Tom Brady rumor. It's Sean Payton. We're moving on. Sorry, I'm a little skeptical about that one. And I also think the division, the Jets don't have a quarterback. New England's got one, but he's limited. And it looks like Josh Allen, the Bills are regressing. So here is my pie chart. My first Aaron Rodgers pie chart. See a very handsome picture of Aaron there. I'm going to go with this for our radio audience. 51% Packers, 25% Dolphins, Titans O-line, 18% Titans, Jets and Raiders. It can happen. Just to protect it, I'll just say 3% each. According to the report, the Jets are the one team, though, have gone all out to get Aaron Rodgers. What do you make of, are you a fan of pie, of that pie?
I love pie. Aaron Rodgers in Miami? How does that ring to you culturally? South Beach Aaron Rodgers?
Well, I just think this. So he has lived in Green Bay. So the minute the season's over, Aaron's in Malibu, Aaron's in Lake Tahoe, Aaron's traveling. He's an active guy. He loves music. He's got a lot of interests. But he has accommodated himself well in Green Bay. He's become part of the town, owns the Bucs. But you get a little older, I can speak from experience. As I've aged, where I live matters more than early in my career. Early in my career, it was about my job and it was about me. I get married, then I have kids, then it becomes about us. And then as you get older, it's not just you, the kids, or us. Kids move out. It becomes, where do I want to be? That's why Nashville and Miami feel really, everybody goes Vegas. He's not a Vegas guy. He's more of a music guy. I could see Aaron Rodgers in Tennessee or Miami. It really works for me.
Aaron Rodgers, I got to just go back to Russell Wilson last year. Did anybody have Russell Wilson going to Denver from Seattle?
Well, remember, Peyton Manning, Brady, and Russell Wilson, and Stafford, what did they choose? Weapons. Everybody talked about Patrick and the tight ends and Jerry Jeudy, and Denver's got really good players. Peyton went to Denver, they had really good players. Brady went to Tampa, Stafford for the Rams. So Russell may have had a bad year, but he chose it for the right reasons. Miami's got really good players.
Yeah. I bring up Russell Wilson because usually the media is wrong on this stuff. This report about the Jets all in Aaron Rodgers, like everybody's been saying that. Remember McVay a couple weeks ago? Every reporter, McVay's out. He's going to go to the booth. McVay's saying, everybody, including myself, Tom Brady, Vegas, it's going to happen. Brady retires. But usually the media is wrong on this stuff.
Okay.
Is there a team we are forgetting? I think your Miami's not bad. Get him out of the conference. He goes to a team with a lot of weapons.
Okay, also, there was a game this NFL season at the end of the year that really was significant. Miami went to Buffalo with Skylar Thompson and was competitive. And Aaron probably watched that game. I thought to myself, good God, is Mike McDaniel a great coach?
Good point.
I get that coach. Skylar Thompson went to Buffalo and gave them a game. Aaron, go look at that game. What would Aaron Rodgers do in Buffalo? Would have won that game. And that's your rival in the division. That game, when I watched that game, I came out of it 2 times.
I like it, Coward. I really like that take.
A Miami team in cold Buffalo, both times outcoached the Bills. Both times. And then they beat them early in the year in Miami. Shouldn't have. I don't know. I think Mike McDaniel is really, really good.
And we've always joked that the Dolphins are not built to win in January, one more team. Aaron Rodgers,
they look great in Buffalo twice. Just a thought. These days, every new potential hire can feel like a high-stakes wager for your small business. You want to be 100% certain you have access to the best qualified candidates available. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. Add your job at Purple Hiring #friend to your LinkedIn profile. Spread the word. I'm looking to. Those jobs fill up, and they have a lot of candidates, except the Arizona Cardinals. According to Mike Silver, last month, he said that they basically created a monster when they paid Kyler Murray early, and now he's injured. So, according to a story today, anybody who takes the Cardinals' jobs will have no option in the foreseeable future at quarterback. So the owner has called out Kyler Murray. The former head coach, Cliff Kingsbury, battled with him. The new GM, when he got hired, said no egos here, a shot at Kyler. And former teammates like Patrick Peterson and Larry Fitzgerald's dad all called him out publicly. So you got to be a pretty big diva for that many people, different generations, young, old, to call you out publicly. I mean, I think Aaron Rodgers can be a little high maintenance, but his teammates support him. Devontae Adams liked him, David Bakhtiari. People support Aaron Rodgers overwhelmingly. Matt LaFleur does. I mean, nobody's supporting Kyler Murray at all. So when all the fan bases out there and the young media, corporate America, the media's gotten younger and cheaper, and they're all fanboys, or a big proportion of them. So every time a player's up for a contract, pay him, get the bag. This is the concern, is that when you get a quarterback, you got to make sure it's not just talent, it's maturity, it's commitment. He's all in. Now, I would have paid Kyler Murray. I'm guilty because the league has become so quarterback-centric. You got to take care of a quarterback. He's a unique talent. He's really special. But this is the concern. Mahomes, that's an easy one. Pay him early. Herbert, grown-up, Burrow, those are the easy ones. There's going to be more Kyler Murrays. Super talented, quarterback-centric league. He's getting better, but he shows you red flags. What do? I would have signed him. I would have. So I'd be in the same situation. But it's so ugly, and now it's so public. I mean, coaches, GMs, everybody, former players, dads of players. You got old, young, middle-aged, owners, execs, athletes, all taking shots at him publicly. So what it's going to do, it's going to make some GMs in the league really, really nervous if they see red flags in the future. It didn't take the money away from Kyler, but it may take money away from people after Kyler. So the question is, what do you do? Because as I've often preached on this show, nobody except anonymous people on the internet are perfect. We all make mistakes. So what do you do when you make a mistake? Even a big one. Drastic times, drastic measures. To me, you got to get out of it. You got to get out of it. And I think there's a solution. So Kyler's already going to miss, they say, 8 to 9 games. Just go to Kyler Murray and say, listen, you're fresh off the injury. Don't play. Go look at Arizona's schedule. Now, the Rams are going to be better in division. San Francisco. And Seattle has a boatload of draft picks, and they made the playoffs this year. There are only 3 games without Kyler Murray they would have a chance to be favored in. Home against Atlanta, Bears, Texans on the road. And my guess is that the Bears and Texans are pretty feisty next year. Certainly better. They got a lot of draft capital, and, the Bryce Young will be pretty good with DeMeco Ryans, and I think Justin Fields will get better. Atlanta probably, unless they make a big move for a quarterback, not very good, they'll be favored. I can make an argument. I mean, look at the teams they play. Rams twice, Niners twice, Cowboys, Giants, Ravens, Bengals. These are playoff teams. Browns should be better next year. They're at the Rams, at the Browns, at the Niners, at the Eagles, at the Seahawks, at the Commanders, at the Steelers. Those are way better teams. And the Steelers, well, they have a young quarterback, should be better. The Bears have a young quarterback, should be better. You'll be playing those teams, but depending on schedule, for instance, if you played Atlanta and Chicago in the first 2 weeks, you don't have Kyler. Kyler might not be available for the Texans, Bears, Falcons game. He may come back when you got the Eagles and the Niners twice, and the Rams. So I think you're staring potentially at a backup situation and 3 wins. 3-14, 2-15. Your top 4 pick, redraft quarterback. You did it with Josh Rosen. Well, we didn't pay Rosen. Yes, you did, but you're in the same situation. I think you go out and get Drake May or Caleb Williams. And because you don't have to pay him, because they're for 4 years, you just put Kyler Murray on the bench. He's got an ego. He's not going to like it. He's going to demand to be traded. You get him out. It's a dead cap hit for a couple of years, but you got to start quarterback for no money. One of the reasons the Packers are considering moving up Aaron Rodgers because they're not paying Jordan Love for the next year. So the dead cap hit doesn't really hurt you. It's a wash at quarterback. But when you have this many people, dads of players, coaches, GMs, owners, when you have media, when you have that many layers of public criticism and shots, drastic times, maybe drastic measures, go look at that schedule. You get those easy teams early without Kyler, on the road, Chicago, on the road, Houston, September, October, with a backup, you're not winning those games. The only winnable game you say Atlanta at home late in the season, if Kyler played, you're going to be a favorite. Something to think about. J-Mac with the news. Turn on the news.
This is the Herd Line News.
The DeAndre Hopkins chatter about him moving on. Backup quarterback may not have a lot of weapons on that team.
No, it's a perfect time to move our star receiver.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the schedule.
You just got a new GM.
They get the NFC East. So you're getting the Cowboys
And the
off.
AFC North. That's brutal.
Those are brutal games. Here's the moment. Those are L's.
I kind of like that. Hey, JNT Consulting. We just helped to fix the Arizona Cardinals.
We have to make a graphic for that.
Yes,
because
yes,
it's becoming a consistent winner.
All right, first up. This was a weird one. Nick Sirianni, right? He's in his second year as head coach of the Eagles, and they're in the Super Bowl. But Giants safety Julian Love, who was a good player this season, is not giving Sirianni much credit for Philly's success. Here's what he had to say.
He's a guy who really is doing a great job because he's not getting in the way of his team. He has an experienced roster from top to bottom, offense, defense. He's needed for a free ride right now. You guys can coach this team, but they have a talented roster. He's just doing the best thing he can do. I think it's a players' league, and he's just taking a step back and letting his team play.
Well, if it's a players' league, what happened to Denver? Because they got good players. If it's a players' league, what happened to Buffalo at the end? Because they got good players.
Well, Julian Love's a smart guy. Went to Notre Dame, a talented player. I don't know why you're taking a shot at a team in your division. And let's remember, when Sirianni arrived, they were 4-11-1. There was a foundation there with the Eagles, but he had to put Jalen Hurts in a position to succeed. He's an offensive guy, Sirianni.
Sean Payton took over a New Orleans team with 3 wins. Next year, they were in the NFC Championship. If it's a players' league, how did that happen?
Yeah, I don't like
Players need quarterbacks. Yeah, I mean, teams need quarterbacks. They also need great coaches.
The two-band
I don't like this Julian Love. You know
Facebook.
what's going to happen next time Giants.
Nobody's came on YouTube though.
You did what?
I'm on YouTube and Facebook.
They're going to be targeting
Oh,
Julian
yeah.
Love and say,
Somebody did comment on my page and was like, "Would you name yourself in middle school in 2001?" I was like, "Yep, been banging Beth's hand mom since then."
I don't hate
Right
that.
on brand, right?
So teams need a quarterback. The teams need a coach. If you go look at the history of
Everything's good with the
quarterback,
furnace.
Bradshaw,
whatever.
had Chuck Noll.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you go to the chiropractor on your way back, can you give me something to drink?
Marino, Don Shula, Joe Montana,
Soda Popinski.
Brady, Belichick.
What?
Soda
You don't
Popinski.
find a lot of greatest quarterback ever.
I don't want to drink a beer yet.
What happened to?
Greatest
I'm not gonna drink soda
I'm
anymore.
trying to cut back.
That's why you bought
So
all
if
the
you want to
water
take a
flavors.
shot
I don't want any right now.
to fight up their success, the GM
The fun guy does. I don't want fruity beverages right now. I got watermelon and fucking strawberry. I don't want either. What's up, kid? Time you got school?
Yeah.
You're a
10 o'clock.
couple of. You're a part-time owner of a small
We don't
So
have
you own an NFL franchise.
Oh,
which would be
you're
a dream
right,
for
you're
both
right.
of us, right? And we're gonna
I
have
was
it.
like, wait
And I
a
said to
moment
you,
though.
You get 5 either coaches or players.
Colin thinks
that are gonna be stars.
Aaron's gonna go to Miami. I think he's right.
In the position of what they do.
Well, I'm not chickening out, but I think overall, number one, you have to have a philosophy of
I
what.
believe
No,
that
I want-
Chris
I
might
want-
do it for
let's
a
say you have
while.
that.
Okay,
If
I think
it
you
was
first gotta
United
identify.
money.
No, not identify. Players or coaches. I want human beings.
Sure you would.
5A human beings. Forget the culture.
Currently in the NFL.
No. What I'm saying is, I'll go first. Quarterback's number 1.
Yes, quarterback.
Coach is number 2.
I want a defensive end as 3.
Edge rusher
Gotta get
number
after
3.
the quarterback.
Okay. Then,
Left tackle.
very
Gotta
important.
protect your quarterback.
Then we can argue over weapon, corner. I would say weapon. But for me, when you say it's a players' league, number
I
2
wanted to
is the
confer
coach.
with you before I bought it.
To me, quarterback, coach. But whenever I hear like the coach doesn't matter, what's being said there is he's marginalizing the coach. I thought Nick Sirianni would be a disaster. You have to give Nick Sirianni credit.
I know.
But
Oh, by the way, Julian Love, who was the coach before Brian? How was that working for the Giants?
Oh, because
And-
there was a discount.
Boom, you got a good coach.
Same guy, same player.
Yeah, Julian Love, that's a swimming miss. Next up, many teams around the league believe
23.
Ravens will place the exclusive franchise tag on Lamar Jackson this offseason.
Yeah.
I think Albert Breer said that number was around $45 million. One AFC executive said it could become a standoff because they don't expect Lamar to sign the tag for a while
20.
due to the amount of guaranteed Lamar Jackson is looking for. Guaranteed money. This just continues to look bleak in Baltimore.
Yeah, this, I don't understand this.
I
Because
just
everybody
realized
likes
he's
him.
only giving me 21.
He's
Oh,
not
but
a
he
diva.
got the million.
He works really hard. It's not Kyler Murray here. It's not Aaron. I'm not committed in the offseason. He's everything. You can argue about whether you think that style can win. But I don't, he's not a diva. He's not committed in the offseason. Everything here says sign me when 76% of his game.
Do you think this is the owner saying, I'm putting my fist down. We are principled. We are not paying too much for it.
I think what the owner is saying is, I see Burrow and Allen and I see Herbert and I see Mahomes and a lot of these guys that are great in the pocket.
Well,
And I
Lamar's not that far behind those guys.
Well, see, but he's behind those guys. So they're saying, we'll pay you, but we're not quite there yet. And they are worried those guys don't get hurt because he runs more. So there's that component.
He hasn't had many injuries, but that being said, so Mahomes and Allen got paid. We would agree Lamar Jackson is a cut below those guys, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So next up is Herbert and Joe Burrow. I don't think Lamar Jackson is either of those guys, but they're going to get massive money in that Mahomes-Allen stratosphere. But Jackson should get right below those guys now.
I think he should. But I think
And it seems like the Baltimore owner is saying, we're not doing that.
Baltimore is very well run and well coached. There is usually a method and a reason, an ideology. They're not Cleveland. They're not panicking and desperate. That's not what they are. Baltimore is well owned, well run, good executives, great scouting. So I tend to sometimes trust successful people, maybe too much so. Baltimore, I trust their decisions. So if they're apprehensive, there's something going on that I don't see. Now, Browns with Deshaun Watson, I don't trust the Browns. They run. They don't have. Now, I think Andrew Berry's really talented, the GM.
Come on now, Lavina.
But I don't trust them. Those guys are powerful. The
Lavina.
owner runs the show. So when an organization or a business has a history of really smart people and good decisions, I trust them.
Yeah, I do want to ask. I had to look this up right now, but is there a bit of a brain drain going on in Baltimore? They dumped Wink Martindale, the defensive
Lorenzo.
they dumped the offensive coordinator. Recent weeks. I don't know what's happening in the front office, but are they getting a little too? Hey, we won a Super Bowl with Joe Flacco. We won a Super Bowl with. Did they remove with Trent Dilfer?
Yeah.
We can move with those guys. We can figure this out. We don't need to pay Lamar Jackson a lot. Is there some of that going on?
They just have never had a lot of ego. It's never been that kind of organization. They're like Green Bay. They're very much. I don't think if you look at the front office of Green Bay and the executive suite, there's not a lot of ego. In fact, I'd argue they tend to be too conservative. They're a little timid. I don't see Baltimore as wildly speculative, huge egos, falling in love with themselves. They're big boy culture, grown-ups, adults, smart people, successful.
All right, so John Harbaugh calls you Colin, wouldn't you? Calls you today after the show. Come. What do you think we do with Lamar Jackson? He doesn't like us right now. How should we bend over backwards and just pay him what he wants?
But again, I would sign Kyler. I mean, a mistake. There were red flags with Kyler that I admitted, but they were trapped. Baltimore never feels trapped, meaning they don't
have change right here.
that bad.
What? How much money do you need, Kat?
Would you say they got lucky with
Or
Lamar?
have change right here.
How much money do you need?
Drafted in the first round.
What?
Wasn't some seventh
Do you need
round.
more money or something?
Easy, like you just-
Oh, what are you looking for change for?
Really smart companies, and Baltimore's been really
Pay
smart
for
for
Ray
20
because
years.
I don't want to get.
I mean, they make mistakes like
So, like, do you need a couple more dollars?
You want to go invest money more? Hey, here's $200. Do whatever you want with it.
Save your coins here.
Berkshire Hathaway. They overwhelmingly make smart decisions over time.
Got it. All right, final story
I
here.
don't need a dollar.
Oh, I don't have any more money. Never mind.
I need coins anyway because it's 58 cents.
Oh, okay.
I already have $50.
Look at that jump in this bucket. See,
One
23,
shot to Donovan Mitchell. And I can't believe
Those
you
are
know it's not.
I was trying to be a good dad.
Folks,
You guys know what my slippers are?
this is a blatant arm come up right to the groin.
Like your
Well,
top
Donovan
ones?
Mitchell.
Yeah.
And obviously,
I can't wear those black ones.
As he should have.
You don't have a change in your piggy
Coach
bank?
came in and stop it from getting
I don't
himself
have
rejected.
one.
So Grizzlies lose.
Okay, I think great teams play beer
I don't, but I.
with the
Well,
Pistons
first of all,
more
this is
often. Draymond Green. I always
I
defend
don't want it.
the bounty of the ball. So Dylan Brooks has absolute meaning. He can be a defensive catalyst. He's a tough guy. Every great team in my life, almost every one, has had a guy willing to do the dirty work, and sometimes that means crossing the line, and I have defended all of them. So even though I thought it was a cheap shot, I think Brooks is very valuable to this team.
Wow.
You don't think
This guy has a history dating back to college. Coach K had to get in his face, being like, dude, clean up your act. Okay? Memphis Grizzlies came out to hear the crypto and got in an argument with fans courtside. They have not been the same team since. They've lost 7 of 8. All this team does is run their mouths.
I totally agree.
Brooks leads the charge. I'll give Desmond Bane a pass. I like him a lot. Super talented player. John Morant, his father, following around, yelling at people. This team does way too much talking for what they've accomplished. And I'm just telling you, it's going to be a rude awakening in the playoffs when they get bounced in the first round. This team is criminally overrated. And let's call it real. They're bordering on derby at this point.
I totally agree. They're so overrated. Fucking Grizzlies are so overrated.
Is Draymond dirty?
Different era, man. You don't punch
I love Draymond Green.
I love it. You defend Draymond Green. I do not defend him. So you're saying it's cool if Dylan Brooks punches out a teammate next week?
Well, I don't have to. No, I didn't love that. What I'm saying is, I do believe there's value in having a guy doing the dirty work. The Knicks teams did with Riley. Pat Riley's always had a guy like that. Feels like kind of a guy. Maybe the Heatles didn't, but you know what I'm saying. A guy that can do the.
Udonis Haslem.
Yeah, he's a good guy. But there's value. Has value. Gets in people's head. Divided.
I hate this fucking cable box.
No, that's terrible.
It doesn't record certain things for me.
I have to reach out to something you can do. I meant to reach out to fucking CBS.
Maybe that falls under like your skill set.
I'm not denying that. I'm saying that is value. You get into the playoffs and you get into a guy's
You're
head.
down to scrappy. So fix for Pat Beverly. That's one of your kind of guys?
Well, Pat's a little over the top. But Pat Beverly gets it. Now, Pat's skills have diminished. But there used to be a guy named Tony Allen that played for years for the Celtics. I love Tony Allen. One of the best defender ever.
First team all defense.
Yeah, and Tony could get in your face. Now, Tony wasn't cheap, but Tony would get in your head.
What about the Morris twin on the Clippers?
He's a little dirty.
Little? That's the guy on the Clippers. You know, every team needs one.
He's a little.
Who's the guy on the Lakers?
No, maybe they need one. Pat Beverly.
Pat Beverly.
Yes, I consider it traded. We'll be talking about this later.
We'll talk about that, by the way. There's some trade talk this morning. Good stuff. J-Mac with the news.
Ooh, I want to hear about trade talk.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Line News.
Hello Fresh. Do you love spending all the time long checkout lines at the store? Yeah, I didn't think you did. Get Hello Fresh's chef-created recipes delivered right to your door instead. Skip the trip to the store, spend more time, things you love to do. Hello Fresh now has 40 weekly recipes to choose from, most choices ever. Fit and wholesome, family friendly, quick and easy.
Lorenzo!
Time to go to church camp.
Here, I'll let you count. Hey, there's a smoothie in the fridge for you.
It's mine.
It's on the second shelf. Look down in a white cup.
Scaracy attaches to and reduces the source of excess inflammation.
It looked very nice. So I had dinner with a friend last night. And I got home early, had a steak, a little spinach, 8 glasses of water. Very healthy, no dessert. And we're saying, my buddy, he's